The Hidden Code. Hello, I'm Jordan Hayes. Today, I'm bringing you a story that sounds like it came straight out of science fiction, but it might just be closer to our reality than you think. It all began with a small team of entrepreneurs who saw an incredible opportunity. They created a company called DNA Lineage. On the surface, DNA Lineage was a legitimate business. They promised to help people discover their ancestry and provide detailed insights into their genetic predispositions. Everyone loved the idea. Learning about your heritage and your health risks sounded like a win-win. For years, DNA Lineage built its reputation by offering personalized reports, beautiful family trees, and even health advice based on genetic markers. Millions of people from around the world sent in their DNA samples, excited to learn more about themselves. The company grew rapidly and became a trusted name in genetic testing. But behind the friendly advertisements and the glowing customer reviews, the founders of DNA Lineage had a secret plan. Their true goal wasn't just to educate people about their DNA. They were using the company as a front to collect vast amounts of genetic data from people all over the globe. They planned to keep running their business for a few years, all while amassing a treasure trove of DNA samples. Then, when the time was right, they would declare bankruptcy. Their idea was simple, yet devious. By filing for bankruptcy, they could potentially offload all those DNA samples to the highest bidder without the usual legal and ethical constraints. The founders kept this plan hidden from everyone: the investors, the regulators, and most of all, the customers who trusted them with their most personal information. For a long time, everything went according to plan. The reports were informative, the service was fast, and the company's balance sheet looked healthy. People were happy to see their family histories unfold and to learn about their genetic risks. But then one day, the unexpected happened. DNA Lineage declared bankruptcy. News of the bankruptcy hit the media like a shockwave. Suddenly, millions of customers began to worry about their DNA samples. What would happen to all this genetic information? Many feared that the samples would fall into the hands of unscrupulous insurance companies or other entities looking to profit from personal data. Questions arose. Would their genetic data be sold to foreign markets? Could it be used to discriminate against them? As fear and uncertainty spread, a full-scale investigation was launched. Independent journalists, concerned citizens, and even government regulators began to dig into the bankruptcy filings and financial records of DNA Lineage. At first glance, the records looked routine, but as the investigators dug deeper, troubling details began to emerge. It turned out that the company's accounting records were far from transparent. Critical details about the spending and the handling of the DNA samples were mysteriously omitted. There were huge payments listed under vague categories, and some numbers simply didn't add up. It became clear that something was being hidden in plain sight. A secret ledger that showed the true cost of their operations was being masked by clever bookkeeping. The investigation revealed that DNA Lineage had been funneling money to a series of shell companies connected to influential non-governmental organizations. These NGOs on the surface appeared to support research and public health initiatives. In reality, they were part of a complex network. In exchange for these huge payments, the NGOs were providing kickbacks and favors back to the founders of DNA Lineage. This covert arrangement allowed the company to cover up its massive collection of genetic data, all while keeping its true intentions hidden. Meanwhile, the mainstream media and major social media platforms, which once helped propel DNA Lineage to stardom, now seem to be working in tandem to distract the public. Every time a new question arose about the fate of the DNA samples, the news shifted focus to sensational celebrity stories or unrelated political scandals. High-traffic social media feeds were flooded with trivial content designed to pull attention away from the mounting evidence of fraud and deceit. Critics and political opponents who questioned the mishandling of the genetic data were quickly discredited. They were painted as alarmists or even as politically motivated agitators. Through doctored videos and manipulated social media posts, The narrative was twisted to make these critics appear as if they were out to undermine scientific progress and innovation. But as the investigation continued, more and more pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Whistleblowers came forward, sharing confidential documents and encrypted messages that detailed the company's secret plan. One brave insider, speaking anonymously, revealed that the founders had deliberately built up their database with the intent of declaring bankruptcy. Their goal had been to offload the enormous collection of DNA samples to private buyers in a way that circumvented all ethical standards. The truth spread slowly at first through underground forums and independent media outlets that refused to be part of the mainstream narrative. Hashtags like #HiddenCode started trending on platforms that were usually controlled by the very companies involved in the cover-up. Ordinary people, shocked by the betrayal of trust, demanded answers. The investigation ultimately exposed the full extent of the devious plan. DNA Lineage wasn't just a company offering ancestry reports. It was a sophisticated operation designed to harvest genetic data on a massive scale, only to abandon its customers when the time was right. The bankruptcy wasn't a desperate financial move. It was a carefully orchestrated exit strategy to enable the sale of sensitive genetic information to the highest bidders. In the end, the truth forced regulators to step in. A series of hearings were held, and new laws were proposed to protect consumers from similar abuses in the future. The story of DNA Lineage became a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked corporate ambition, the misuse of personal data, and the lengths to which powerful entities will go to hide their misdeeds. Consider the hidden costs of innovation and the delicate balance between progress and privacy. The hidden code is a reminder that even in a world where technology can unlock incredible secrets about who we are, we must remain vigilant about who controls that information and for what purpose. Thank you for joining me on this journey through deception and discovery. Stay curious, stay informed, and always ask the hard questions.